ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and esteemed participants, and a warm welcome to the 7th International Research Conference on Smart Computing and Systems Engineering 2024, organized by the Department of Industrial Management, Faculty of Science, University of Kelaniya. And we are delighted to have you all here today as we embark on this exciting journey of exploring the frontiers of smart computing and systems engineering. I'm Sandhini Malaheva.
And I'm Dinanjay Surya. And together, we have the honor of guiding you throughout this remarkable event. Over the next few hours, we will witness groundbreaking research, insightful discussions, and collaborative endeavors in the realm of smart computing and systems engineering.
These fields of interest are at the forefront of technological advancement, transforming how we live, work, and interact with the world around us. From artificial intelligence and machine learning, to innovation and resilience, to supply chain management. This conference serves as a vibrant platform to explore the multitude of possibilities and potential that these fields offer.
And also, we would like to express our appreciation to our technical sponsors, IEEE Sri Lanka section, and IEEE Computer Society, and also to our platinum sponsor, Huawei Technologies Lanka Company Private Limited. Their generous contributions have made this conference a reality, and also it has enabled us to create an enriching experience for you all. To commence the proceedings of this significant occasion, we would like to invite the following dignitaries to light the ceremonial oil lamp.
Keynote speaker, Professor Roshan Ragale. Dean, Faculty of Science, Professor Sudat Kalingamudali. Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor M. Gunathilaka. Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, Professor Bandaravanni Nayaka. Dean, Faculty of Humanities, Dr. Sudat Senarat. Chairman, Research Council, Professor Sachit Nityananda. Librarian, University of Kelaniya, Dr. Shamil Vijayasundara. Advisory Committee Member, SCSC Conference, Professor Suren Peter.
Registrar, University of Kelaniya, Mr. K. Dharmathilaka. Head of the Department of Industrial Management, Professor Janaka Vijayanayaka. Conference Chair, Dr. Chandra Rajapaksha. Technical Program Chair, Mr. Dinesh Asankar. Representing Huawei Technologies Lanka Company Private Limited, Mr. Kavinda Manjula. And we kindly request one of the authors present here to join us in lighting the oil lamp. Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives us an immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to 5 dignitaries who are present here with us today. And may we have the honor of inviting them to the head table.
Keynote speaker, Professor Roshan Raghav, Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Sudat Kalingamudali, Chairman, Research Council, Professor Sachit Mettananda, Conference Chair, Dr. Shatura Rajapaksha, Conference Secretary, Dr. Tilini Mahanama.
In honor of our alma mater, University of Kelaniya, please rise for the University Anthem.
Kelaniya Sarasavi Mata, Kelaniya Sarasavi Mata. Sunisita Kelaniya Sarasavi Mata, Situ Ambare Babalewa, Siya Desa Kitu Gosa, Urumaya Surakina, Siya Suwanda Vidu Kirana Vedadina, Sarasandaki Vidulakara Udadina, Kelaniya Mata, Situ Ambare Babalewa.
Thank you, and you may be seated.
And now, To formally welcome the gathered audience, I have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Chatura Rajapaksha, the chair of today's conference.
Good morning, esteemed guests, colleagues, students, and all those passionate about smart computing and systems engineering joining us physically as well as virtually. A special welcome to our distinguished guests, Professor Sudat Kalingamudali, Dean of the Faculty of Science, University of Kelaniya, Professor Sachit Mettananda, Chairman of the Research Council, University of Kelaniya, our esteemed keynote speakers, Professor Tanya Mitrovic from the University of Canterbury, New Zealand. She's joining us online. And Professor Roshan Ragel from the University of Peradeniya, Sri Lanka. It is with immense pleasure that we mark the inauguration of the 2024 International Research Conference on Smart Computing and Systems Engineering, as we all know, SCSE. This year holds a special significance. Firstly, we celebrate a milestone, the 7th consecutive SCSE, entirely organized by the Department of Industrial Management. This is a remarkable achievement, a testament to the department's dedication and collaborative spirit. It's especially noteworthy as the only IEEE technically co-sponsored conference spearheaded by a single department in Sri Lanka. Secondly, SCSE 2024 unfolds amidst transformative era, that is the AI revolution. The emergence of large language models is significantly disrupting the landscape of smart computing and systems engineering. This conference provides a critical platform for the scientific community to navigate these advancements. Finally, the University of Kelaniya's inclusion in the Times Higher Education's 2024 World University Ranking is a significant achievement, with SCSE playing a vital role. As the university's only Scopus Index conference, SCSE's contribution is commendable. We celebrate SCSE's 7th episode today, a journey filled with beautiful memories. We began modestly in 2018, achieving a significant milestone with IEEE technical co-sponsorship for the first time in 2019. Overcoming the hurdles of COVID-19 and economic crisis solidified our team spirit. The true strength of SCSE lies in its incredible team, our dedicated academic and non-academic staff, enthusiastic students, meticulous reviewers, and invaluable technical program and advisory committee members from across the globe. Their tireless contributions and unwavering passion are the pillars of our success. A heartfelt thank you to the entire SCSE team for this remarkable journey. This year, SCSE embraces some notable changes. We have included expanded tracks, a free AI education forum for school ICT teachers, and an academic forum on generative AI and large language models. We have increased the number of tracks from 2 to 7, reflecting the rapidly evolving disciplines within smart computing and systems engineering. Recognizing the government's initiative to introduce AI to schools in 2024, we have included a forum dedicated to educating ICT teachers on this crucial technology. Moreover, we have facilitated a forum for university faculty to explore integrating generative AI applications effectively into teaching and research. Finally, I must mention that the caliber of submissions this year was exceptional. We received 249 papers, including submissions from researchers in Japan, China, Australia, the UK, and India. Through a rigorous double-blind review process, 76 papers were accepted, reflecting an acceptance rate of just 30%. These impactful papers align with 13 of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals, highlighting the potential of smart computing and systems engineering to address global challenges. These papers will be presented in 12 technical sessions after the inauguration and will be submitted for inclusion into IEEE Explore. So dear colleagues, once again, I extend a warm welcome to the SCSE 2024. May you have a productive and enriching conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chatara, for such a warm welcome address.
Now, I would like to invite the Dean of the Faculty of Science, University of Kelaniya, Professor Sudat Kalingamudali, to deliver his remarks on those who are present today.
Very good morning and greetings to all of you. Deans of the faculties, registrar, librarian, chairman research council, Professor Sachit Methananda, keynote speakers, Professor Antonio Mitrovic from University of Canterbury, Professor Roshan Ragel from University of Peradeniya, head of department of Industrial Management, Professor Janaka Vijayanayaka, Conference Chairperson, Dr. Chatura Rajapaksa, and Conference Secretary, Dr. Tilni Mahanama, members of the academic and non-academic staff, dear scholars and authors who are joining here physically and virtually. As an alumna of the University of Kelaniya, one of the finest national universities in Sri Lanka, I express my gratitude to the organizing committee for inviting me to the inaugural ceremony of the 7th edition of the Smart Computing and Systems Engineering 2024 conference. As very clearly mentioned by the chairperson, the primary objective of this conference is to provide a platform for research scholars, academics, researchers, and industry experts to present their research in the areas of smart computing and systems engineering. It is worth mentioning that conference proceedings are published in IEEE Explorer Digital Library, which is indexed in Scopus. As mentioned again by chairperson, we embarked this conference at a significant juncture with the University of Kelaniya achieving a noteworthy position in 2024 Times Higher Education World University Rankings. Our university proudly stands as the 3rd ranked institution in Sri Lanka. The Faculty of Science played a pivotal role in this achievement, contributing 245 Scopus Index journal publications since 2019, including numerous publications by the members of the Department of Industrial Management, as well as this SCSE conference. Currently, the Faculty of Science consists of 8 academic departments and 2 academic units with more than 3,000 undergraduates and 800 graduates enrolled in various majors, making it one of Sri Lanka's most esteemed science faculties. We offer 12 postgraduate taught programs, and there are more than 15 active research groups in my faculty. I'm happy to say that we have over 22 patents for innovations, including 3 patents invented only in 2023 by both undergraduates and our faculty researchers. Also, there are 3 patent cooperation treaty publications. Out of this, some of them have already been commercialized with very reputable industry partners, and the first product launch for the innovative technology developed by the University of Kelaniya took place last year. In addition, our staff members publish more than 20 scientific research articles, both in pure and applied science areas, in highly reputed, high-ranked international journals. If I move to the Department of Industrial Management, they came to existence with the commencement of the faculty in October 1967 with the objective of teaching management to science graduates. Since then, department has developed its academic programs in conducting regular program reviews and improving laboratory facilities. At the inception, they offered industrial management as one of the subjects of the 3-year bachelor's program. And 1985, they introduced the 4-year bachelor's program, bachelor's honors program in industrial management, and many of them have obtained their higher degrees in very reputed international universities, and some of them are back at the department, and they are sitting over here and in the front line. The Department of Industrial Management has been at forefront of innovation too. In 2004, 20 years ago, they introduced BSc Honours in Management and Information Technology degree program, which was the first degree program offered by a single department of this faculty. Currently, the annual intake for this program has increased to 120 with the employment rate of over 95%. Also, in 2020, they were awarded ISO 9001-2015 Quality Management System Certificate. That was the only department in my faculty having this ISO certification. In conclusion, I sincerely thank the organizing committee for successfully bringing this event to a fruition. I extend my best wishes to all the presenters and participants, and hoping for highly productive and fruitful morning ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kalinga Mudali, for your valuable sharings on this momentous occasion.
It is now my pleasure to invite our esteemed guest, Professor Sachit Methananda, the Chairman of the Research Council, to address the gathering.
Good morning, deans of the faculties, heads of departments, of different departments of the science faculty, chairperson, organizing committee of this conference, the keynote speaker, all presenters who are eagerly waiting to present their research findings, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I must thank the organizing committee for inviting me as the capacity of the Chairperson Research Council to come here for the wonderful event and to speak few words. It's a great honor to be here as the Chairperson Research Council, because as the Chairperson of the Congress mentioned, this is probably one of the, if not the best conference that the University of Kelaniya is hosting. Although it's hosting at a department level, the caliber of it, as we can see, is almost national to international level. I'm thrilled to hear that the acceptance rate has been extremely low, at a rate of 30, and the conference is most likely to be and will be indexed in Scopus, which will all contribute to the betterment of the research output of the faculty and the university, as well as it will contribute to the university rankings, which we all are interested at this moment. The theme you have selected and the keynote sort of keynote speeches that you will be hearing also indicates that the conference is in par with the modern trends in research. And in medical research, AI is playing a major role. It's not only in systems engineering, it's not only in computing, it's everywhere. So we are struggling to how to sort of mitigate the issues related to AI and to get the best use of AI for medical and scientific research. And now many journals will accept any manuscripts that are generated partly through AI, provided that you acknowledge what platform has been used or what AI tools that you have been using. So you will have to live with it. So AI will be with us for the next good 5 years, and many scientific research, not only in engineering, computing, but even in medical sciences, will have to be supported through AI tools and AI generated sort of the manuscript. Having said that, we have to be very cautious about use of AI, and I'm sure the keynote speeches will give us some valuable insights into safely using AI and to handle and what aspects of AI that can be used. I use this opportunity also to market the Research Council a bit. So we, as a sort of a Research Council, was formulated in 2014 and has been a remarkable sort of addition to the university to promote research. During the last 3-4 months, we have been shifting our focus and the aims as well as sort of the priorities for the future. We have been a unit or center that has been providing some internal financial support for academics of this university. That is why I am here, I suppose, because we have given some funds to run this conference as well. However, with the changing landscape of international research, we have to be a bit sort of move ahead from being just distributing some funds to whoever, researcher who is trying to do some research. So that's not, we will continue to do that. We will continue to do the same. We will continue to support all conferences. We will continue to support any publication charges, any research funding, although don't know, there are so many opportunities available in the Research Council for whoever is interested in terms of funding, and those will continue. At the same time, we have put 3 main priorities for the next few years, going beyond providing some funds. Firstly, we would probably be interested more in improving the quality of research, along with improving the number of publications. So that's why I am so happy that the acceptance rate has been 30%, which itself show that you have been very rigorous in improving or maintaining the quality, and the conference itself sort of is in line with the Research Council aims and themes. The second thing, we are very interested in improving and building up collaborative research. Can be interdepartmental, interfaculty, interuniversity, and international. So that is what we are sort of, that is one of our priorities. Whoever is interested for collaborative research, the Research Council will give its fullest support. So please be assured, if you are interested in developing international national collaborations, we will give our fullest support. Again, this conference showcases, I'm sure there will be several people who have been sort of eagerly waiting to present their findings, not from this faculty, not from this department. I heard there has been some international submissions to the conference. So that itself is very encouraging, and we sincerely hope that this conference will generate some national, international collaborations so that the research output and the research caliber of the university will move forward in an accelerated pace. Again, I would like to thank the organizers to organizing this wonderful and an excellent conference, and I wish all of you very best for the rest of the day and to have a fruitful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was really encouraging.
It is with great pleasure that the Department of Industrial Management welcomes you to this prestigious international research conference, which we have the honor of hosting for the 7th consecutive time. We owe our deepest gratitude to the entire university community led by the esteemed Vice-chancellor, Professor Nilanthi De Silva, whose unwavering support and invaluable contributions have made this event possible. Thus, on this significant occasion, we have a special message from Professor Nilanthi De Silva, who has shared her thoughts on today's proceedings.
And gentlemen, Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Kalinga, other deans, our keynote speakers for the conference, Professor Roshan Ragal and Professor Antonia Mitrovic of Canterbury, New Zealand, the department, and all of the distinguished invitees, conference participants. It gives me great pleasure to share a short message with you to mark the inauguration of the 7th International Conference on Smart Computing and Systems 2020. My apologies for not being able to be with you, present with you in person, but I have another unavoidable personal commitment which prevents me from being with you. The University of Kelaniya has been working hard over the last few years to establish our status as a research university. And last year, we were very pleased that we were recognized in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings for research intensive universities to be listed as one of 4 Sri Lankan universities in the World University Rankings. Conferences like this, the 7th International Conference on Smart Computing and Systems Engineering, enable the university to bring together researchers who are interested in that, who are working in that particular area of expertise, to share their ideas and to learn from each other. This year's conference, I am told, focus areas: software engineering, artificial intelligence, supply chain and logistics systems, industrial engineering and management, smart systems engineering, IT and education, and systematic reviews. All of which are areas which are, I think, to the best of my understanding, cutting edge areas in the world of information technology and computing. And so I am very grateful to the Department of Industrial Management for setting up this platform for researchers and students, academic staff, and practitioners from industry to share their views and to learn from each other. Now that COVID is behind us, we are able to meet in person and to establish the social connections which were not possible during the time that we had to have virtual conferences because of the COVID pandemic. But at the same time, the technology that we started using during the pandemic has enabled us to bring in people virtually as well even if they can't join us in person. So I'm happy that we are able to now enjoy the best of both worlds in that sense. The IM department, the Industrial Management Department, I know is one of the founder departments in our Faculty of Science, and it has been a pioneer in intertwining management with information technology. And I know that their graduates are recognized both locally and internationally for the excellence in the delivery of whatever task they are commissioned with doing. And I'm sure that the collaborative network that will be created through this conference, the SCSC 2024, will lead to productive outcomes for both industry and our university, and perhaps even society worldwide. So end up by just all of the conference participants very fruitful day's deliberations, and once again thank the department for organizing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your encouraging words, madam.
The Department of Industrial Management was established with the aim of providing education, conducting research, and offering training in the field of industrial management to mold science students into skilled professionals in both management and information technology disciplines. Also, the International Research Conference in Smart Computing and Systems Engineering, commenced in 2018, is a progressive initiative that the department has created to make a platform for academia to present their research in their own fields of interest. Let us now watch an introductory video about our prestigious department and the journey of today's conference.
Welcome to the International Research Conference on Smart Computing and Systems Engineering 2024, conducted by the Department of Industrial Management, Faculty of Science at the University of Kelaniya. This acclaimed research conference focuses on the complex areas surrounding the fields of smart computing and systems engineering. Research scholars, academia, and even from around the globe are encouraged to submit their research papers so that, if chosen, they are indexed in Scopus and submitted for inclusion in IEEE Explore. 7th iteration of the SCSC conference, the research paper submissions were narrowed down to the following disciplines: software engineering, artificial intelligence, supply chain and logistics systems, industrial engineering and management, smart systems engineering, IT and education, systematic reviews. Whilst pertaining to the academic tracks, the research papers focused on the following areas of interest: in comparison with the previous encounters at the SCSC conferences, this year showcased nearly 250 research paper submissions, a staggering increase compared to the last couple of. A total of 249 research paper submissions were received, while the majority made up for papers artificial intelligence and systematic review. Through the double-blind research paper review, nearly 80 research papers were chosen for publication. Among them, with a greater acceptance rate of 33.33%, papers focusing on artificial intelligence, followed by systematic reviews with the next best acceptance rate of 17.95% were shortlisted. According to the IEEE standards, the standard accepted rate of any given number of submissions is equal to or less than 40%. whereas out of 249 submitted papers, the selected or accepted rate is 31%, which is beyond impressive for a research conference. All accepted research papers align with one or many Sustainable Development Goals issued by the United Nations, representing the commitment to a sustainable research ethic. Research led by Nipunamuna, a proud product of the Department of Industrial Management, supervised by our very own staff members, developed a smart glove that translates Sinhala sign language in real time. This innovation used sensors to track hand movements and translate them with perfect accuracy. The portable glove connects via Bluetooth, making it easy to use and accessible for the deaf and mute communities in Sri Lanka. This innovation helps to break down barriers to a more inclusive society. Exploring collaborative efforts between the Department of Industrial Management and Sri Lanka Telecom, a DIM student, Shiran Hevavitarna, developed a recommender system to analyze customer data and personalize recommendations for SLT's fixed line, TV and broadband services using deep learning. Sample room tasks in garment production are slow and costly due to manual processes. Based on a leading apparel company's requirement, Abhiru Vijay Singha, an undergraduate at the Department of Industrial Management, developed a system to automate the sample room process. He utilized AI such as GPT-4 to analyze sketches and automate these tasks, reducing costs to 30% and training time to 25%. Exhibiting the department's openness to collaborate with international entities including universities, the Department of Industrial Management partnered up with the Department of Infrastructure Engineering, University of Melbourne, Australia, to undertake a polymer categorization project where the unwavering dedication of lecturers and undergraduates at the department came into fruition.
Technology has forever changed everything, from the way we work to the way we think. Humanity is witnessing an unfathomable revolution that has altered man's very existence. Information technology, commonly referred to as, is integrated into every industry, be it healthcare, manufacturing, hospitality, and more, making IT professionals sorted in almost every field. Have you ever thought about expanding your horizon and being equipped with both IT and managerial skills? Situated in the sacred city of Kelaniya, the University of Kelaniya is one of the leading universities in Sri Lanka that has nurtured many great personalities. The Faculty of Science is home to many aspiring undergraduates who are about to spread their wings and explore the world. The Department of Industrial Management, one of the very first departments in the science faculty, was established with the aim of molding science students into professionals who are well versed in both management and IT streams. The Department of Industrial Management offers 2 degree programs. The students who sat for their advanced in the science stream can apply for Bachelor of Science in Management and Information Technology. Interested students are then shortlisted through an aptitude test. Applicants who meet the requirements set by the University Grants Commission are then selected for the degree program. During the first year, follow a common set of modules that provides the fundamental concepts in both management and IT related subjects. In the second academic year, students are given the opportunity to select either Bachelor of Science in MIT or Bachelor in IT based on their competencies and performance. Undergraduates are also offered an internship to provide them first-hand experience before they formally enter the industry. The students can either opt to get a general degree after completing 3 years or complete 4 years to get an honours degree. Amidst the excellent academic facilities, the department is also designed to provide undergraduates with infrastructure at the level best. Equipped with a library, a multimedia room, and practical labs that utilize up-to-date technologies, the department provides a wide range of facilities for undergraduates pursuing degrees. Apart from the high-quality facilities, also provides a platform for young undergraduates their soft skills. The Industrial Management Science Students Association, also known as IMSSA, is the official student body of the department and is one of the most active and prominent student bodies among local universities. It holds the pride in organizing many extravagant events, including renowned hackathons, talent shows, and an industry-acclaimed magazine. The Exposition Magazine, one of the leading university business magazines in the country, is published annually by the undergraduates themselves. The magazine contains articles written by industry experts that provide information on the latest trends and innovations to those who seek knowledge. The IMSSA also takes pride in organizing an inter-university startup challenge. It is a platform that allows young innovators to pitch and explore their ideas, preparing them to be the leaders of tomorrow. Undergraduates get an opportunity to create essential networks with industry experts while enhancing their knowledge and skills. HackX June Inter-School Hackathon, organized to provide a platform for the bright young minds of school children to transform their ideas into reality. Rasoga, an talent show, showcases the aesthetic talents of aspiring undergraduates. To enhance the team working skills and sportsmanship of the MITians and bring forth their young spirit, a cricket match is held annually. Inculcating the essence of giving, the students are also encouraged to host a dansella once a year. The graduates with both management and IT expertise, equipped with skills, step into the industry as multi-talented, versatile, and well-sorted professionals locally and internationally. The Department of Industrial Management is the pioneer to get the most out of your university life and expose yourself to a plethora of experiences and knowledge in management management and information technology.
Thank you for your undivided attention.
Today, we have the immense privilege of having two iconic personalities among us who have graciously accepted our invitation to be our keynote speakers at this prestigious international research conference on Smart Computing and Systems Engineering 2024. Allow us to introduce our first esteemed speaker, Professor Antonia Mitrovic.
Professor Antonia Mitrovic is a respected figure in computer science and education with a career spanning several decades. As a full professor in the Department of Computer Science and Software Engineering at the University of Canterbury, Christchurch, New Zealand, she leads the Intelligent Computer Tutoring Group. Professor Mitrovic serves as an associate editor for several journals, including Practice and Technology Enhanced Learning, the International Journal on Artificial Intelligence in Education, and the Journal of Universal Computer Science. In recognition of her contributions, Professor Mitrovic received the Distinguished Research Award in 2011 from the Asia Pacific Society of Computers in Education. Her current research focuses on AI-based support for active learning from videos through AV space. Professor Mitrovic's dedication to advancing education through technology solidifies her position as a leader in the field, inspiring colleagues and students alike.
She brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise in this field, and we are honored to have her share her valuable insights on the effectiveness of AI-based support for engagement during video-based learning. Professor Mitrovic will be joining us virtually to enlighten the audience. And now, let us hear from her. Professor Mitrovic, it's up to you.
To be invited to give this keynote talk. I'm sorry I cannot be there in person, but I really enjoyed the introduction to the university and the introduction to the department, and especially the focus on AI and the focus on soft skills, because that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So let me share my screen first. Okay, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am, we can see your screen.
So this talk is about a project that started about 8 years ago. Just a little bit about the team. It's a joint project. You can see lots of names here. My main collaborator is Professor Vanya Dimitrova from the University of Leeds, but you can see lots of other people, including one of your graduates. And I'm really happy to have Patsan in my group. He is now a PhD student in my group. He's a great researcher. So I don't have to say much about why video-based learning. We all know that videos are used widely. Even before the pandemic, they have been used widely, and then after that, even more so. However, there are some problems with video-based learning. And one of them is that it's very easy to just watch the video and do not engage with it. So it very often results in passive learning. Passive learning is characterized by low engagement, and that's due to lack of feedback. So someone is watching a video, but there is no feedback from that, and there is no interaction with teacher and other students. So especially in formal education, this is a big problem. There have been some strategies for dealing with this. For example, teachers can show a video and then have a classroom discussion, or teachers can add some kind of interactive activities to videos. But both of these require additional effort from teachers. And our goal was not to require too much effort from the teachers. So we have developed this platform that I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. and we use interactive note-taking. So we ask students to write comments while they're watching videos. And we also have AI-based personalized support that supports engagement with videos. So here you see 2 screenshots from our platform, but at this point I would actually like to give you a short live demo. So we call this platform AVW Space. AVW stands for Active Video Watching, and it's a general platform, so it can be used for any kind of teaching. However, our project focuses on soft skills, how to teach soft skills. I'm in the Department of Computer Science and Software Engineering, and we have great students, but many of them really do not have great soft skills. So that's what we wanted to focus on, and I will show you some of the results. We have done lots of studies, so there is not time to go into details. But some of the initial studies were done with presentation skills, and that's one of the skills that our students struggle with. And then later on, we also worked on communication, face-to-face communication in software development meetings, especially for our software engineering students. Currently, we're working on empathy and on also team work as well. So if we go into this face-to-face communication in software development meetings, basically what we do is the teacher can create a new space on our platform very easily. So you can specify which YouTube videos you want to use. So all the videos are publicly available YouTube videos. We didn't make specific videos just for this purpose. So in this particular space for face-to-face communication software development meetings, we have 6 tutorial videos. They're all short videos. They range from 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. And we tell students to watch these tutorials. They talk about what is good to do in communication, that kind of stuff. And we also tell them to make comments as they are watching videos. And then later on, we ask them to watch the example videos. These are examples of meetings with some good and negative points about how people behaved in those meetings. So for example, if I go into this video here, you will see what the student will see. So we have the video. The student can start playing the video whenever they want. These are my previous comments, and you see that I made just one comment that this was not a good comment, and the system is telling me this comment sounds a bit vague. Can you clarify more in your next comments? So this is a nudge. I'll talk about nudges in a moment. So the student can play the video, and whenever they want, they can add a comment. And to add a comment, they can type whatever they want in this box. But we also ask them to select one of these aspects. These aspects we selected after deliberating on them for a long time, because what we wanted to do is to focus students' attention on their experience. So the aspects are kind of nudging students towards thinking about self-reflection, reflecting on their experience. I'm rather good at this. I did this in the past. I didn't realize I wasn't doing this, or I like this point. And whatever the student types is going to appear in their history. So for example, if I select something like this and I save the comment, it's going to appear. And what happens is that the system will automatically analyze what I have done, and it will decide whether it's a good comment or not. So I'll show you that in a moment. Now, what we also do in this particular platform, after students watch the videos initially individually, in the second phase, we open these comments for review so they can see each other's comments. And this is the element of social learning. So they can see the comments, they're all anonymized, and they can rate them using, again, rating categories that we generated so that they're kind of focusing their attention again on self-reflection. Self-reflection is very important for learning soft skills, because these skills require the students to be able to think about the experiences and also to see how other people perform the same skills so that they can reflect on that as well. Now I'll go back to my presentation and show you a little bit more. So I mentioned that we have AI-based support for learning. As I said, the first soft skill that we worked on was the presentation skills, where we have 4 tutorial videos and 4 examples. We have these micro scaffolds for reflection, implemented as aspects when writing comments, and also rating categories when students review each other's comments. Now, with this particular space, presentation skills, we have done 14 studies with different types of students, some first-year university students, some were with postgraduate students. The total was more than 2,000 students. And that allows us to analyze how they learn, what supports learning, what works, what doesn't work. So we have the presentation skills ontology, which describes the basic elements of this particular skill. And you can also see here the typical design of our studies. So at the beginning, we have survey 1, where we collect demographic data and we ask students how much they know about that particular skill. Then they have phase 1, which is the individual phase, where they watch videos and take notes, make comments. Then we give them another survey to collect some more information about what they think about the platform, the cognitive load, and so on. And then in the second phase, which is in the social space, they can read each other's comments and rate them as well. And finally, we have the last survey of a similar kind. So from the early studies, in the early studies, students could watch videos and write comments and rate comments. We have found out that students who write comments and also rate comments written by others, they have learned more. So more engagement during video-based learning results in increased conceptual knowledge. We have also seen that these micro scaffolds, the aspects and the rating categories, have a positive effect on learning. But we have also heard from our students that writing comments is demanding. So they are not sure what to look, what to write, what to pay attention to. Another thing is that we have seen lots of different types of students. I don't have time to go into details of this, but what we have on the left is a network which shows different students. So for example, UCZ38 is one participant, and the key words that are related to presentation skills that they used in their comments. And you see that this network is not very large. So these students have written some comments, but not a lot of them, and they have used only some of the keywords from the ontology. On the other hand, we have extremely knowledgeable students who write a lot of comments and write about lots of different keywords. So our goal was to move the students who are on the left, in this network on the left, to the network on the right, and we were thinking about how to do that. So how do we support students' engagement? How do we show to them that it's good to write comments and they will learn more? And at that stage, we decided to use nudges. Now, some of you might be familiar with the nudge theory that was developed by Richard Taylor and Cass Sunstein, who are professors from the University of Chicago. And Richard Taylor got a Nobel Prize for this work in the economical sciences in 2017. So basically, this is an approach to modify a real environment, to make a small change to the environment, which will not restrict the freedom to choose in terms of making decisions, but it will nudge people towards making good decisions. And a very simple example of this would be how to, for example, set up a cafeteria so that the healthy food choices are more visible and easier to get to in comparison to fried food or something which is not healthy. So that's what we did. We made some changes to our environment. And the first one was we defined what we call the reminder nudges. These nudges are the hints which appear on the screen if the student is not behaving in the ideal way. So for example, no comment reminder is a nudge which will appear if the student has watched 1/3 of the video and has made no comments at all. And if they don't, even after seeing the nudge, if they don't write any comments, so they're still watching the same video, there are no comments, we are going to give them different nudge, which we call the no comment reference point, where we tell them, it's a good idea to make comments. We have seen that students who make comments learn more, and then we give them an example comment that someone else from the class wrote. There are also nudges that deal with different aspects if students are not using all the aspects, or a positive nudge when they use all aspects for writing comments. So as I mentioned, comments appear on the screen as a hint. So on this screenshot, we have a nudge, reminder nudge, which tells the student, asks the students, is there anything in this video that is new to you? Can you write about it? So we are kind of encouraging them to write comments. And in the early studies, we have seen that reminder nudges do work for certain types of students. So here we have some results with postgraduate students and undergraduate students. Nudges resulted in more comments for undergraduate students. So more students were willing to write comments, but not for postgrads. And this is not surprising because postgraduate students typically have more better learning skills and better self-reflection and metacognitive skills. Then nudges resulted in more even use of various aspects, and so on and so on. So that was the initial set of results with reminder nudges. But then we also wanted to engage students, motivate them to write higher quality nudges, high quality comments, to write better comments. And we defined this set of nudges, which we call quality nudges. So let me just briefly explain to you what this means. This is our AI-based support. So basically what we have done is we collected comments from earlier studies and categorized them manually using this comment quality scheme into 5 categories. The first category are low quality comments. These comments are often irrelevant. They're just maybe saying good or interesting or something like that. There is no explanation whatsoever. In category 2, we have comments which simply repeat what's in the video. Category 3, 4, and 5, these categories belong to high quality comments, and they could be either critical or analytical, so the student can write something about what they saw in the video, elaborating, justifying why that is a good idea. Category 4, we have self-reflective comments where students write about themselves and their own experience in given presentations, for example. And then in category 5, these are comments which we call self-regulating, where the student plans for their future performance. So we wanted to have nudges to move students from writing comments of category 1 or 2 to categories 3, 4, or 5. And just to give you some examples, affirmative or negative off topic, so quality 1, someone can just say agree. Obviously, it doesn't tell us much about what they're thinking. Repeating, listen to the speaker, and these are real comments that we collected from our studies. So someone for category 3 wrote, presentations can be boring and long, but if you use stories, that's more enjoyable and can have clear direction. Self-reflective comment, my past speeches have had very interesting beginnings. Or self-regulating example, I will definitely be trying to smile more throughout my next presentation. So how do we do this? So you have seen in the demo, when I wrote the comment, we have a machine learning classifier, which we classify the comment into these categories. How it works, we extract features, a set of features from each comment using look. This is linguistic and psychological features, set of features developed by this particular tool. We looked at the use of aspects and how much they write and the domain specific ratio of what they have written. And all these features are fed into machine learning classifier, which we trained based on the manually classified examples. So we use a random forest classifier with a very good performance. So that's what happens. So the student would write a comment which will automatically be analyzed, and we show the quality of the comment to the student, and then we use this information to decide what kind of nudge they will get and whether they need to get a nudge or not. Now later on, we also added visualizations. So now at the top of the screen, the student will see this progress bar telling them how many videos they watched or how many videos they wrote comments on, how many videos they rated comments on, so on. And we did a lot of studies. We have done more than 20 studies so far. Now these ones at the top in red, these are historical studies. So first of all, we had a study with AVW space with no nudges whatsoever. Then we added reminder nudges and did a set of studies to see their effect. After that, we added quality nudges and then again conducted some studies. And finally, after visualizations, we also conducted some studies. Now, this is a current project, so we are still working on the platform, adding more functionality to the platform. So the three white rectangles at the bottom represent the current studies. Currently, we have a study on gamification. We are also adding explanations, so explainable AI, to tell the students how the system calculates the quality of their comments. And there is another study which is going to start very soon on recommendations. So let me just tell you a little bit about the results. To analyze the data, we use different kinds of approaches because we have tons of data from these studies. One of the approaches is to classify students into different categories using the ICAP framework. This theory is developed by Miki Chi and her collaborators, and basically it classifies students into different categories based on word behaviors, because the word behaviors can tell us something about how engaged students are. So students are classified into these four classes. So passive students are those who just watch videos and they don't do anything else. Active students are those who watch videos and they write comments, but these comments are not of high quality. And constructive students, this is our goal. Constructive students are those who are writing high-level quality comments. In our platform at the moment, there is very limited functionality for students to discuss things together, but that's one of the future plans. So we divide students into these categories, and I can show you the results from several studies that we have performed since 2017 in Engineering 101. Engineering 101 is our first year mandatory course for all engineering students. And at my university, we have about 1,000 students every year who do this course. So in the course, they learn about different kinds of skills they need for engineering. They work on a team project, so a group project. And at the end of the semester, they need to present to the class. And in the course, no one teaches them about how to present. So basically what we do is we give them access to AVW space, to our space on presentation skills, and we tell them you can use it if you want. And you can see the number of students in different years. So about a third of the class would use the platform. And I'm only showing you the data for those students. So the first study was in 2017. We had 303 students. There were no nudges. So they could watch videos, write comments, but there were no nudges. And in this particular type of scenario, what happens is that about half of the class were watching the videos passively. So they didn't write any comments whatsoever. And we had 39.3% of active students and only 10% of constructive students. Now, in the following year, we introduced reminder nudges and divided the class, 2018 class, into two groups. The experimental group had the reminder nudges, the control group had no nudges whatsoever. And you can see there was quite a big difference in the percentage of passive students. Then in 2019, we again used the reminder nudges, a similar percentage for passive students. In 2020, we had the quality nudges, and their effect was that there were fewer passive students, fewer active students, but then significantly more constructive students. 2021 and 2022 studies, we used all types of nudges and we used visualizations. We used the dashboard. And the effect is obvious. So now we have a single-digit percentage of passive students, and we have about half of the group who are writing high-quality comments. So this was a great result. We also looked at some other types of skills. As I explained, we are looking at communication skills with a similar kind of setup. So students watch videos first and write comments. In phase 2, they rate comments. But then after that, so this is done in a software engineering course where students are working on a project for the full semester in groups. So we asked them to record one of their meetings, and then they watch themselves. They watch their own meeting on the platform. They can write comments on it, and they can rate and review other comments as well. So the results in this particular class, again, in 2020, we conducted a study with no nudges, and there were 16 passive students. However, when we introduced nudges and visualizations, there were no passive students. So all of them were either constructive, big majority were constructive students, writing high quality comments, and just a few active students. We also did some causal modeling to show that nudges actually do have an effect. So they cause increase in knowledge score, in the number of high quality comments, and the total number of comments as well. Now, making the video of the team meeting, this is something students really, really liked. So I'm giving you here some example comments on the team video. So they said that some of them talked about the meeting itself, but the second comment here is what we are really after. So this is a very reflective comment. So someone wrote about themselves. If I was to have a meeting with someone and they had the same body language as I did in this meeting, at least in the first 10 minutes, I would get an impression that they are not interested, disengaged, or not paying attention. So this is exactly what we wanted to achieve, to make students think about their experience, their behavior, and how that affects, in this particular case, the meeting. We also asked them to provide feedback on AVW space and the different elements of the platform, and they really, really liked watching themselves. Because they could see what other team members think and how they view the team, and also that enabled them to provide feedback to the whole team in a safe environment. So I'm out of time, so let me just tell you that we are now working on several new spaces. As I mentioned, we now have a space for empathy, again for software engineering students. That's our focus. We are adding explainable AI. We are adding recommendations. So if you remember in the second phase, when students watch each other comments, when they can read each other comments and rate them, we are now going to do that in an adaptive way. So on the platform, we have the student model in terms of what the student knows about a particular soft skill, and we are using a recommender system to recommend particular comments to students. So each student will get a different set of comments to review. And we're also extending AVW space by adding gamification, adding support for direct collaboration between students. We also have a big grant from the New Zealand Ministry of Business and Employment, which is for assessing the effect of AVW space in software industry. So we are now developing some instruments for assessing soft skills, and we will be conducting studies with software professionals. So acknowledgements. These are the different types of grants which we have had and which enabled us to conduct this research. And finally, if anyone is interested in using ABW Space, we would really like that. So please contact me if you're interested in that. Thank you for your attention. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Actually, if you have any questions, we'll provide you with a mic. Please raise your hand in order to ask a question. Please raise your hand in order to ask a question.
Hello, Professor.
Hello.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. My name is Tapan Kumar Mondal, and I'm a master's student in Hiroshima University, Japan. So while I was watching your presentation throughout, so one thing that I was curious, why did you utilize multiple nudges at the same time? So I think if you are giving the nudges to the learners or those who are using the platform, so why don't you separately randomize the nudge while you have the treatment and control group at the same time, and we can evaluate the impact of one nudge more like specifically than while we are having multiple nudges at the same time. So I was curious, what was the basic like understanding or the objective of this study, rather than you used only one nudge at the same time?
Yes, thank you for that question. So basically, the student will be getting a nudge at the time. They don't get multiple nudges at the same time. What nudges they get, that would depend on their behavior. So if you have someone who is writing good quality comments, they will only get what we call the positive nudges, which praise their behavior. But if you have someone who is writing low quality comments, they will be getting different nudges. So yes, we did analyze, we studied these nudges in batches. So as I said, in some earlier studies, we looked at the effect of reminder nudges to see whether they are going to increase the number of comments students write. Not just one nudge, all the reminder nudges together. And then later on in later studies, we had studied the effect of quality nudges. So these are nudges that we hoped will result in a higher number of high quality nudges. You can conduct study on a single nudge, but that will take a lot of studies to show the effect of all of these nudges together. So that's why we went to that approach. So we analyzed all reminder nudges together, and then all the quality nudges together. And then after that, we analyzed the effect of visualizations. I didn't have time in my presentation to say, but for example, when we edit visualizations, that also introduces significant change in students' behavior. And in their feedback, they told us, several students wrote, I wanted all my circles to be green, because that means they have completed a particular task. So even those small things, these are basically interface nudges, small changes in the interface that have a big effect on students' behavior, which is very interesting.
Professor, I just want to add one thing. You just told that based on the students' behavior. So if the nudge is given based on the students' behavior, I see there could be some endogeneity problem. So why don't you do in the next study that not based on the students' behavior, rather you randomize the nudge irrespective of students' behavior, then you might have a more causal effect on the study. That was my opinion.
Yes, I understand what you mean. I didn't say much about my prior work. My prior work was in the area of AI in education, and I have been developing intelligent tutoring systems for many years. And from that experience, I know that if you change your instructional sessions, your instructional approach adaptively, that's the best possible way, rather than giving nudges or whatever your intervention is in a random function, a random way, completely randomly. So adaptive educational systems are much more effective than any other type of system. That's the basis for how we do our studies.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you for the question.
Is there any other questions? The silence implies the Q&A session is over. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you for your invitation. And I just want to reiterate, if anyone is interested in using our platform, we are more than happy to support that. At the moment, we are conducting studies at the University of Canterbury, but we are also conducting studies in several universities in the Philippines. So we are more than open to collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Antonia Mitrovic, and for that enlightening presentation. Her expertise and profound analyses have undoubtedly given us new perspectives and deeper understandings. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce our second distinguished keynote speaker for this esteemed inauguration ceremony, Professor Roshan Ragel. Professor Roshan Ragel is a distinguished figure in computer engineering and academia. Since joining the University of Peradeniya in 2007 as a senior lecturer, he has risen to the position of professor in 2017. Professor Ragel has been an active member of the IEEE and IEEE Computer Society since 2005, achieving senior member status in 2014. He has co-authored nearly 200 peer-reviewed articles covering various topics such as systems on chip, the Internet of Things, bioinformatics, wearable computing, and digitalization of local language text. His contributions have earned him several awards, including multiple Best Paper Awards recognition as the most prolific Sri Lankan author by Elsevier Research in 2017, and the Presidential Award for Scientific Publication, Sri Lanka in 2018. In the years of 2021 and 2022, Professor Ragel was recognized as a top scientist in computer science in Sri Lanka, and in 2023, he was named the best scientist in the computer science in the country by the AD Scientific Index. Additionally, he has been acknowledged as a Tier 4 awardee for research excellence by the University of Peradeniya. Having served as a visiting research scholar at prestigious institutions such as UNSW Sydney, QUT Brisbane, UIUC Illinois, and ANU Canberra, Professor Ragel brings a wealth of experience to the table.
And today, Professor Roshan Ragel will share his invaluable insights on the engrossing subject AI and IoT, emerging trends and future directions in the Industry 5.0 era, offering valuable perspectives on the technological landscapes of tomorrow. Please join me in welcoming Professor Roshan Ragel on stage. So, Professor Ragel, the floor is all yours.
Isn't life about what we experience, what we smell, what we smell?
Can I eat this? Dragon fruits are low in sugar.
What we hear, what we hear.
What should I get here? What should I get here?
What we see, what we see.
Capture this.
And what we feel, What if we build more memories?
What are some fun things to do nearby?
Share more moments.
Play songs from the last time we were here.
What would happen if we rediscover our senses? What if devices went the experience?
Listen call and the flight is at 7 a.m.
Tell Lucy I'm on my way.
What if life was?
AI pin.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. So like you have seen the video, which is on a new AI pin, they call it, from a company. Full disclosure, I have no shares in that company. So it's a new company they started, and what they are doing is building a small device that can go like a pin, which replaces a lot of things, right? Say particularly your phones, right? So it replaces your phone. In addition, it adds a lot of more other applications into it, right? So we are in an exciting time. We are talking about Internet of Things, at the same time AI, right? So I'm going to talk about AI and Internet of Things together, how they are changing the world, like you have seen in that video. So this is what a brief on what I'm going to do, introduce what IoT is, and talk a little about IoT and AI together. And then, okay, all these companies seems to be the one that the video was from a company called Humane from US. So all this research on IoT and AI together, can they only be done in a place like US or a Western society? Can it be done in Sri Lanka? So I'll take some examples from what we are doing at University of Viradania as use cases that this sort of research can also be done here. And I'll conclude by talking about few new trends in IoT with AI, and particularly on things like the generative AI. In fact, the clip or the pin is using some generative AI in it as well. So just start with IoT, Internet of Things. So Internet, as you know, started for people. So for connecting people. So we wanted to connect people, but obviously not people like here. It's easy to connect here. You can just talk to each other. But if you want to connect people around the globe, then we had to have some devices put to connect people. But then what they do, they enable people to talk to each other, communicate with each other, share things with each other. So that's Internet. Internet of Things is using this Internet, can devices connect and talk to each other? Can we use devices to talk to each other? What do I mean? We'll just take an example, right? A room like this, if there are multiple devices here, one, let's say, a sensor that captures the temperature of this room. Another device that controls the air conditions here. So these two devices, without human intervention, can they talk to each other? The sensor device that measures the temperature, and tell the AC, air condition device, okay, control, we are getting warmer, increase the cool or the airflow and so on. That's just a simple example where human don't have to come in the middle, the devices can talk to each other. So the Internet of Things is Internet is used. I mean, we can think of examples of this nature in a larger scale. Now that we are in industrial management department, we can also think of large example, logistics management. Can a device that is in a factory tell another device, okay, the supply is going down in the materials, send it from somewhere, right? So a lot of different examples you can think of where Internet of Things, the things that talk to each other with less human intervention. That's the idea of Internet of Things. So it's considered one of the disruptive technologies. In fact, like in this list, which was out from last year, Internet of Things is at the third place. First one being mobile internet. Second one being automation of knowledge work. By the way, this was pre-generative AI graph, right? At the same time, in terms of
the global, in fact, like the count over the globe, how many such devices are contributing to the global economy. This is in billions of dollars. Over the years, Internet of Things with various different applications, things like IoT in security, in hardware, services, and so on, keep on growing. So there is a good demand for a field like this. So how Internet of Things is now coming together with AI or artificial intelligence. As you all know, industrial revolutions have changed the way how humans live, how we adapt, how we work with each other, how we collaborate with each other, the way how we drive this planet. So started with Industrial Revolution 1, where we were doing mostly automation, and from there we went into things like with the electricity, invention of electricity, what we did, and from there to computers, using computers to do automation, and then now we are in a phase where we are also putting all these devices that can connect to each other, IoT. So in fact, I titled my presentation as Industrial Revolution or IR5, which is again debatable, but the idea is that on top of Internet of Things, these devices, what happens if you put AI onto it, right? So how AI can come in and help the Internet of Things. So that is why I mentioned like we are calling it the next Industrial Revolution, or whatever way you call it. The idea is how we can connect AI into Internet of Things. So one of the ways how we can picture AI, how it influences the world. One, you can see what's on the left side of you, right? Humanoid robots, right? So if you go back and look at almost all the science fiction movies, pre-generative AI, is about humanoid robots. Robots becoming like us. So when we want to think about ourselves and think about some other intelligence coming and becoming like us, we want them to be like us, look like us, I mean, right? So robots are more closer, or humanoid robots are more closer to like humans, and therefore almost all of them are like that. And then they have, movies, they take over by, and then like you have a hero coming and rescuing either by different ways, right? So let's not go into the details. So, but then in reality, something else is really happening. Yes, these robots are being built, yes, true. But at the same time, in reality, there's more happening in terms of how AI can influence, in other words, control the way how we work. That is the Internet of Things. So Internet of Things, like I said, are everywhere in large number, and what else they do? They collect data. There's more and enough and more data collected by Internet of Things that are all around the globe, and they all are connected, and therefore it's possible for us to bring them to central places. By using them, AI, particularly machine learning, branch of AI, is driven by data. So can we use this data to do decision making and further, right? So that's the idea. So you have a lot of data coming from Internet of Things, and therefore they can be controlled or can be used for decision making compared to be imagining human coming in, or humanoid robots coming in. So if you want to think further in this direction with LLMs, large language models, which was mentioned earlier as well on this stage a little while ago, coming in, and how can large language model and the controlling of or decision making of humans be influenced. I recommend you to have a look at or watch this video on AI and the future of humanity by said to be one of the great mind of this century or the last 10 days, Prof. Harari. So that background set, now let me just, whenever there's an opportunity, I talk about what I do, and yeah, right, and you don't have anything, you can't do anything else other than sitting and listening, right? So let's spend a little time, tell you about the type of research we are doing in this particular domain. So in fact, about 15 years ago when I started at University of Peradeniya, we started a research group or a lab called Embedded Systems and Computer Architecture Lab, in short ESCAL, which does a lot of work in, we started working on Internet of Things, or those days we call it embedded systems, even now. Here are some examples projects that I've picked up and become like recurring and improving over time. One such project is this thing called Swarm Robotics. It has its own website and a few publications in reputed places. So what this project does is we build a lot of smaller robots and they collaboratively work, and we have built platforms where we can interact and also try different algorithms, even AI type agent-based algorithms on these robots, even remotely. So I sitting somewhere in front of a browser, I'm able to access these robots and try algorithms there. At the same time, these robots also, we worked on what is known as the mixed reality, meaning some of those robots like augmented type of an idea. Some of these robots are real and some are virtual. So they all interact with each other. We have a lot of interesting applications for simulation. For instance, if I want to build a bomb diffusion setup or some remote navigation help and so on, it's not possible to do it all with physical robots. So we do it with physical and virtual robots together. We are working on other projects in places like smart greenhouse monitoring. We are working with the Faculty of Agriculture on building smart agriculture with Internet of Things. Obviously, AI and ML involved, and this is a publication on a +1 journal. Other projects related to gloves. We noticed that I noticed that you also presented something related to like a sign language device. This is something similar. Other devices like remote keyboard tutors. So in fact, this was motivated and built during the pandemic, where the learner of a piano or a keyboard cannot access to the experts, so can it be done remotely. Other projects like CopMate is one where we can, the device can identify whether you are breaking the road rules. So some more serious projects, things like human emotion. We are talking about AI, and we are talking about AI being not emotional, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, right? So on that aspect, we are building algorithms and devices that can identify human emotion. Why is it useful? We think it's useful if the devices understand human emotion. Yes, they don't. I mean, we think it's useful if these devices can understand human emotion and make decisions when they are making decisions. Just to give an example, when we started this project, the idea was to build a game that has different levels of difficulty, depends on the emotion of the person who is playing the game. Right? So somebody playing the game is sad, don't make the person more sadder, make the person win games and make things easier and pleasant. So a person who is playing the game is want to be challenged, give that challenge. Right? So change, so that is where we started, but we have gone a long way and tried a lot of different applications, including applications in other domains, like for instance, whether we can identify the emotions of animals, like dogs, for instance. So whether how animal emotion can be used to treat them or to work with them and so on. or understand them. So these are done with sensors. In this particular example, if I am right, it ECG, and there are other applications as well. So you also have projects with collaborative projects with other universities. This one is with University of Queensland, Queensland Technology, QUT. We are working on precision agriculture. This is particularly a PhD project and published in some places. And where we can identify targeted pesticide control and so on. Health related, so this is similar to the watches, now the smart watches we are wearing. The only difference is that these devices are put together into a smaller network, control network, where we can manage, say, for example, a hospital wards with the patients wearing these devices, and you have a common dashboard where all these things are put together and so on. In fact, like the dashboard that we built, not the device, but the dashboard we built was used at the University of Peradeniya Teaching Hospital during pandemic. So there are more similar things being built. Another project where we are working with University of Western Sydney is on what you call smart t-shirts, or t-shirts or clothes, wearables, where you can identify or use it for identifying various diseases, in this case related to sleeping disorders and so on. And we are not only just building those devices, but also doing some research on improving the algorithms that are used in these devices, and also making these algorithms and also the data representation of this, the data that is in there, compressed, smaller, and therefore power efficient, cheaper, and so on. Another area where we are working on is on mobile genomics. So things like we have built a number of applications and also algorithms related to AI machine learning that can be used for next generation sequencing, coming from places like this nanopore sequences and so on. So those are projects that we are doing at the lab I mentioned, and which is ESCAL. At the same time, at the university level, we are also now in the process of setting up what is known as a multidisciplinary artificial intelligence research center, where a lot of, so the previous project was only within a department, but there were collaborations. But here, the stakeholders are from the whole university, different faculties, for instance, so those who are working on agriculture, those who are working on medicine, dental sciences, and social sciences, education. So you all come together and do collaborative research. In fact, we are doing this for about a few years actively, and now we are taking it forward. And now that it was mentioned earlier by the Research Council Chair as well, that the government is also interested in developing a National Center for Artificial Intelligence. So this, we think, is part of such an initiative. So we are working with a lot of other domains. Particularly now that we are here in a university, and therefore we should also talk about education, like it was done in the previous keynote. So education is one of the places where we think these new technologies can make a big difference. And therefore we are doing a lot of work with the Department of Education at the University of Peradeniya, and also the school level education. So more projects from this. One is, so I'll just, in the interest of time, not go into all these other projects. There are more in the same line. And also, it was mentioned earlier during the welcome speech as well by the organizers, that they have set up or given a platform where academics can come and talk about artificial intelligence, how it can be used. We are doing something similar at Peradeniya. We call it IFA, or Artificial Intelligence Forum for Academics. Anyone who is interested as academics are welcome to join. We are just discussing things like how artificial intelligence can change education and research and so on. In fact, like we also have set up or prepared a guideline on how AI can be used, or generative AI specifically here, not in general. can be used in education, and the guideline is in the approval process at the university system within Peradeniya. So the last part of my talk, I just wanted to highlight a few things that the new trends that's happening in AI and IoT together. We'll start with some generic trends, and then we'll go into specific ones related to technology. So generally, this is already happening for the last several years, and smart homes and things that are becoming more and more smarter with the examples I gave you earlier, Internet of Things or IoT devices. They come together with, if can we use the data that is coming out of these devices to make decisions. And these decisions can improve the way how human our homes are. So with this, more things that are happening, we see a lot of industrial setup where they were reluctant for a very long time. If you take a small industry, even here, they were like reluctant in using this data or the devices to collect data and make decisions. But we see more and more of it is happening now in all sort of sectors. I mentioned about logistics earlier, transportation, agriculture, and various other industries. These are happening as general trend. Something that is happening on a serious level is also in the healthcare. We in fact are working with the faculties at Peradeniya who are related to medical side on this sort of applications as well, where IoT and healthcare, IoT can come and help healthcare. In terms of technology, what are the new things happening? One is what is known as edge computing. So now that we have a lot of data that is collected by these devices or the IoT, and then these data, do we have to send all of them to a central place where they can have to be managed and decision made? Can they be used? For example, now if you are using a generative AI application on your mobile phone, the decisions for those or the things that are generated are not done on your mobile phone. They are coming from a server that is somewhere far away, right? So they are all happening in a cloud or like a data center or a supercomputing facility somewhere far away. So can some of these decision making happen locally or close to where the data is collected? So data processing at closer to the place where they are collected is known as edge computing. There's a lot of research work happening in this area, not just now when generative AI is in place, but even earlier. But with generative AI, where there are concerns about data privacy, whether we can send all the data that is collected from here, for example, the temperature example I gave here, or who are here in this room, such example, can this data be shared with anywhere in the everyone who is in the in the world? For example, now that we have so many VIPs here, can this information be used to do something harm to the people who are here if the information from here is sent to somewhere else, elsewhere, right? So situations like that, can I make those decisions here itself without sending them out? So that's the idea of edge computing. There are a lot of research happening in this area. Well, not in the interest of time, not go into all the details, but that's one. So with edge computing and AI, it's also possible to do intelligent edge. This is something new. So that I already mentioned about it. The idea is to do the decision making on the edge, not in the cloud or in the center. Other technology, other trends that are happening is this AI and machine learning with all this data, the data that are collected through all the devices. By the way, the number of devices that I was showing you earlier at the earlier part, by 2025, the number of devices we have are going to be at 75 billion. So a lot more than the number of human beings that are out there, going to be out there. So all these devices are going to collect data. What are we going to do with that? Can we use this data to make some good decisions? Right. So that's something that is getting trendy in terms of the technology, how we can make use of those. One other thing is, now I said, okay, so we can let the devices to talk to each other, take care of each other, or actually take care of us by talking to each other. So with this, there is something else coming into picture, which is who is going to take care of these devices? Do we need human to go and repair and maintain all these devices? Like I said, 75 billion, billion, right? So, so many billion devices, and can human being be there at all time? Aspect is this thing called predictive maintenance. The idea is, can these devices self-diagnose what's going on within them? Can they order for parts that are going to break after a while? Right? So can they tell us, okay, so this is going wrong, we have to fix them, and so on. So such is another field where we are doing a lot of research that's happening. So just to wind up, I'll take some trendy example that's happening now on generative AI and wearable. So this is what I showing you at the very beginning, the AI pin that was developed by a group who about a year ago, and now it's in the market. A bit expensive, it's somewhere like $700, but it's similar to a mobile phone now these days. Right, so I'll skip that video, it's a long one. Help me skip that video, okay. Right, I skipped, thank you. So, and something else that is happening and cheaper and more fun to have is this robo called Louis. So this is again ChatGPT enabled. Let me play the video.
Louis. Meet Louis, the device that brings your smartphone to life, elevating your desktop experience to a whole new level. Louis. Making full use of your smartphone's hardware and our built-in sensors, Louis can fully sense his surroundings. Sometimes he's a bit mischievous, but he knows where the boundaries are. If he oversteps, let him know.
Hey Louis, take a break.
Besides interacting with you, Louis also enjoys some occasional alone time. You can try grabbing Louis' attention, but don't provoke him, or he will fight back. You can ask Louis to tell you a joke. The ChatGPT generated jokes never repeat. Or just relax and enjoy time with your new gaming buddy. With Louis, you'll discover countless precious moments you might have missed in the past. He'll automatically select the best angle and capture the memory. Plus, he's very responsive to hand gestures. Louis transforms into a wireless charger for your phone when you're concentrating on other stuffs. It keeps reminding you of important information. Sometimes Louis can get a little scared. Comfort him with a gentle touch to make him feel safe and secure. With Louis, remote interaction with your loved ones is now possible. You can remote control Louis and explore the world from his perspective. And even send animations with hand gestures. All your precious ephemeral moments are now kept by him. Every interaction makes Louis more attuned to you. Ultimately, each Louis becomes unique to you.
Hey Louis, I guess we'll be stuck here for a bit longer.
With our advanced biomimetic behavior engine and ChatGPT integration, Louis promises endless, delightful interactions that keep you engaged. He's a whimsical little desktop robot, remote avatar, gaming companion, wireless charger, and more. Your phone has always had a soul. It's now time to give it a body. Say hello to Louis.
So that's a Kickstarter project, and if you want to order one, this is supposed to be cheaper, some $150. Not the whole thing without the phone. You have to, with your phone you can use it, and if you order one, you'll get one by August. Right. So that's about just for fun. Future. Like I said earlier, we are going to, AI is going to be AI, and this with the IoT is going to be everywhere in all the fields that you can imagine. And it's just imagination is going to be the limitation, right? So with IoT, you can come out from your phones, save your eyes, and so it's for a human technology relationship beyond your screens, phone and laptops. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And we kindly request that you remain on stage for a while to accept the token of appreciation. And for that, I would like to invite the conference chair, Dr. Shathra Rajapakse.
We extend our heartfelt appreciation to Professor Roshan Ragel for his inspiring presentation.
As we come to the end of this momentous inauguration ceremony, we would like to invite Dr. Thilini Mahanama, the conference secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks and express gratitude on today's behalf.
A very good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I am so honored to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the conference committee in SCSC 2024. First of all, let me thank our Vice-chancellor, Professor Nilanthi De Silva, for her continuous support. Her emphasis on enhancing the university's research profile motivates us to publish more indexed journals in SCSC continuously. Our heartfelt gratitude goes to the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Sudat Kalingamudali, for his encouragement throughout this process. Thank you very much, the Chairman of Research Council, Professor Sachit Mettananda, for his contribution to the success of this conference. We are extremely grateful to our keynote speakers, Professor Antonio Mitrovic and Professor Roshan Ragel. We are honored to have you as keynote speakers here, and thank you so very much for sharing this work. We would also like to thank all the deans of the faculties, heads of the departments, and the university's academics and non-academic staff for their valuable support. We thank the SCSC Advisory Committee, Technical Program Committee, Reviewers, Editorial Board, and session chairs for their commendable support and constructive feedback. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to technical sponsors, IEEE Sri Lanka section, IEEE Computer Society, and our platinum sponsor, Huawei, for your generous support. We express our sincere thanks to all the authors and presenters for joining us to publish their research and for their immense support. We are looking forward to your presentations after the break. The success of this conference would not have been possible without the dedicated efforts of the entire Department of Industrial Management team, led by Professor Janaka Vijayanayaka. We are immensely grateful for their commitment and passion. I would like to especially thank the conference chair, Dr. Shathra Rajapakse, and the technical program chair, Mr. Dinesh Asanka, and the entire conference team for their outstanding leadership and tireless efforts. Our heartfelt thanks to the superb technical team led by Mr. Buddhika Jayawardena and my fellow secretariat team. We extend our gratitude to Dr. Shathra Rajapakse, Mr. Dinesh Asanka, and Dr. Amila Vitanarachi for organizing and conducting the pre-conference workshops. I would like to thank and acknowledge all the invitees for gracing this occasion with their presence. Last but not least, let me express my heartfelt gratitude to the staff and students of the Department of Industrial Management for your hard work and dedication, which has been pivotal for the success of this event. This time is not enough to mention each and everyone's name who has contributed to the conference. Once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your participation and support. We hope that you have a fulfilling, insightful experience at SCSC 2024. We are looking forward to welcoming you again in SCSC 2025. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Ladies and gentlemen, and with that, we bring the inauguration ceremony of the 7th International Research Conference on Smart Computing and Systems Engineering to a close.
The organizing committee sincerely hopes that this conference serves as a vibrant platform for you to explore, discuss, and ultimately bring your research ideas into fruitful and productive conclusions.
We expect to begin the technical sessions from 11:15 a.m. onwards. Please note that there will be 12 separate technical sessions held in the course of today. As we conclude the proceedings, we kindly request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
Sri Lanka Mata, Upper Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Namo Mata. Sundara Sri Varini, Surandi Ati Somana Lanka. Danya Danya Nikmal Palaturu Piri Jaya Bhumi Ranya. Apahata Sapasiri Sata Sadhana, Jivana Ye Mata.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Please join us for refreshments outside and a kind reminder to mention us through social media using the hashtags. And may you have a beneficial and a productive day ahead.
Thank you.